Alright guys, so I think it's enough for a day. Miss terangkan macam mana kamu nak tahu which haloalkene, which nucleophiles yang akan undergo SN1 dengan SN2 mechanism. Let's get real this time. Macam mana kamu nak lukis SN1 dengan SN2 mechanism. Okay, so these are some of the explanations about SN1. Basically, SN1 ni is a unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Okay, so previously kita discuss kalau SN1 ni dia akan pilih tertiary. Kalau let's say tertiary haloalkene akan buat SN1 mechanism. Kalau secondary haloalkene pula, it depends on the nucleophile. So kalau gunakan weak nucleophile pun boleh jadi salah satu faktor yang akan menyebabkan dia undergoes SN1 mechanism. So basically SN1 mechanism tu nama dia unimolecular because bila in the rate determining step, there will be only one molecule involved. Okay, kalau kamu tak faham ni tak apalah, tapi yang pastinya it's a first order reaction with the rate law equation of rate is equals to rate constant kalikan dengan concentration of haloalkene. Rx ialah haloalkene. Bucu tajam bracket ni ialah simbol untuk concentration. Ingat lagi tak? Okay, SN1 mechanisms ni is actually a two steps reaction di mana one of the steps you akan buat formation of carbocation ion. Okay, kalau you nak form carbocation ion, you always have to remember you kena always form a stable carbocation ion. Do you remember the stability of carbocation ion macam mana? Ingat lagi tak? Carbocation ion paling stable ialah carbocation ion yang tertiary. So tertiary carbocation ion is more stable daripada secondary carbocation ion and is more stable daripada primary carbocation ion. So you kena ingat tu. That's why lah tertiary haloalkene ni dia favor SN1 mechanism because dia boleh form tertiary carbocation ion. Because why? The more stable the carbocation ion, lagilah tinggi dia punya reactivity towards SN1 mechanism. Okay, these are the contoh untuk buat mechanism SN1, which it involves two steps. The first step is when you form the carbocation ion, which is it is a slow step. And then the second step is the nucleophilic attack. It is a fast punya step because daripada anion kepada cation. Okay, so kami ada bagi tahu reaction mechanism in haloalkane. Walaupun dia ada SN1 dengan SN2, kamu hanya fokus sama ada pada hydrolysis of haloalkane. Hydrolysis of haloalkane ni is when daripada haloalkane dia react dengan weak nucleophile and then akan dapat alkohol. Ataupun alcoholysis of haloalkane is where you form ether. Okay, tapi sekarang ni kita nak tengoklah cara-cara bila buat hydrolysis of haloalkane. Sama je, dia akan involve two step. The first step is a slow step where kita akan form carbocation ion. The second step is where nucleophile tu akan attack the carbocation ion. Okay guys, so let's look at the example for the hydrolysis of haloalkane punya mechanism. Okay, this carbon is a tertiary carbon because this carbon is bonded to another 3 carbon atoms. So dia akan menjadikan this haloalkane is a tertiary haloalkane. Okay, since that this is a tertiary haloalkane, so it will straight up undergoes SN1 mechanism. Lagi-lagi dia gunakan dengan weak nucleophile kan. Hydrolysis of haloalkane akan menghasilkan alkohol, OH. This is alcohol. So since that dia undergoes SN1 mechanism, we know that dia akan undergoes two steps. So how? So the first step is formation of carbocation ion. It's a slow process. So what happen is you akan ambil you punya haloalkane and then you akan break the bond between carbon and Br. So that way you akan form carbocation ion. So as usual, Miss bagi tahu dia kena start arrow dekat source of electron. We know that this bond ada 2 electron. For the start of the arrow, you have to start daripada source of electron and then you pergi kepada atom yang you nak break kat situ, Br. Okay, since that this carbon atom, they donate 2 of the electrons dekat Br atom. Okay, and this is a slow process, so you need to mention this slow process. Therefore, this carbon akan terima positive charge. Because why? Because they donate 2 electrons to this Br. Br, dia menerima elektron. Therefore, dia akan dapat charge negative. The bond is breaking heterotically. Heterotic kan? Sebab dia double head arrow. So, that means dia punya produk akan dapat cation dan juga anion. Yang the one jadi cation, yang the one yang dermakan electron, the one yang jadi anion, the one yang accept the electron. Next step is a nucleophilic attack. It's a fast reaction. So what happened here is you need to salin balik your carbocation. Okay, and then you tak boleh buat nucleophilic attack dengan Br minus. You bukannya nak form balik haloalkane kan, you nak form alkohol. So kita ambil nucleophile di kat sini. Nucleophile yang digunakan ialah weak nucleophile H2O. Okay, so what happened here, dia kan kata nucleophilic attack ni step 2. That means what? Daripada nucleophile kena attack carbon. So sekarang ni daripada oxygen of your H2O yang akan attack the carbocation. Again, you have to start the arrow daripada source of electron. That's why daripada tak ada lone pair dekat oxygen atom in your H2O kat sini, you kena wujudkan lone pair dia. Okay, lone pair of your oxygen atom. So you know that oxygen atom bila dia kena ada 2 covalent bond and 2 lone pair. So one of the lone pair here akan attack the carbocation. So bila dia attack the carbocation, what happen is you will form a new bond. Okay, sebab dia attack ni dengan niat dia nak form new bond. So that's the new bond formed when this lone pair of this oxygen, okay, dia donate lone pair dia pada this carbocation. So that means carbon ni akan terima elektron. So bila carbon ni terima elektron, pada asalnya is a carbon with plus sign kan. That means carbon ni elektron deficient. Tapi bila dia terima lone pair, elektron daripada lone pair ni, dia tak adalah positive charge lagi dah, because dia dah terima elektron. So carbon terima elektron, oksigen terima elektron. Memanglah bond terhasil, tapi sekarang ni this oxygen akan receive plus sign. Because why? Because they donate electron kepada carbocation yang electron deficient, elektron yang tak cukup ni. Because kenapa carbon ni electron deficient? Kenapa carbon ni dapat plus sign? Because previously dia break the bond dengan Br. Okay, dia menerima elektron daripada Br. That's why dia ada carbon with plus sign. Okay, so now you janganlah bila dia dah buat new bond tu, you buat H2O macam tu pula. Dia kena melekat specifically kepada oksigen, because oksigen ni yang menerima elektron daripada carbon. So that's why this new bond terhasil is when this lone pair attack this carbon atom. This is the bond yang terhasil, and oksigen since that dia terima elektron untuk buat bond dengan this carbon, dia akan dapat positive sign. Okay, so now how you nak dapat alkohol? This is a protonated alcohol. What is protonated alcohol by the way? Okay, this is alcohol, OH. Protonated alcohol ni bila tiba-tiba dia ada additional hydrogen. Bila dia ada additional, dia bukan H2O tau. Dia nak jadi alkohol, tapi dia ada hydrogen terlebih kat sini. Itulah nama dia, protonated alcohol. So how can we buang that hydrogen? Kita kena buat deprotonation. Hydrogen kan proton. Okay, deprotonation tu that means we want to remove the hydrogen here. So, macam mana kita nak remove? Ambil balik your nucleophile ni. Okay, again, from this H2O, you ambil lone pair dekat your oxygen atom ni. Lepas tu you attack this hydrogen. Tak kisahlah mana-mana hydrogen, tapi salah satu, okay? Because kita nak buang satu je hydrogen atom supaya you akan dapat form alcohol. Okay, lepas tu daripada lone pair ni dia attack hydrogen atom. Lepas tu daripada bond, bukan daripada hydrogen ya. Hydrogen ni tak ada elektron langsung. So daripada bond ni dia akan berpisah dengan oxygen plus. Okay, dia akan berpisah. Okay, so sekarang ni, you nampak kan dia buat perpisahan ni kan. So oksigen plus ni, daripada oksigen plus, since that dia terima elektron, dia jadilah oksigen neutral. Because why? Dia dah terima elektron daripada bond ni. Okay. And then H ni pun dah dibuang. Dia akan jadi H3O plus lah. The side product ni, I believe the side product will be H3O plus because this H2O dia dah curi this hydrogen. Okay, so kalau kamu dah habis salin everything, I want you to check out, is it from the step 1 ni, ada tak this arrow? Check, ada tak arrow daripada carbon break dengan Br? Ada tak you mention that this is a slow process? Miss highlight lah mana benda yang penting supaya nanti kamu tak tertinggal. Okay, mana benda yang penting, Miss highlight dengan color orange ni. Okay, this arrow penting, this kataan slow pun penting, and this one cation dengan anion. Okay, lepas tu dekat step kedua, this arrow penting untuk kamu show. Okay, lepas tu jangan lupa this is a carbocation and you kena mention that this is a fast process. And then the protonation pula, jangan lupa you akan ada dua arrow because one of the arrow comes from the oxygen lone pair attack the hydrogen. Lagi satu arrow bila you nak break the bond between hydrogen dengan oxygen. And therefore you will get your alcohol. Alright, so next one is alcoholysis of haloalkene. Basically, kamu akan ada haloalkene, kamu reactkan dia dengan nucleophile, and then you akan dapat ether. Okay, this is actually ether. Itulah alcoholysis. Miss kan bagi tahu, tak kisahlah you buat SN1 atau SN2 mechanism, tapi dia akan bagi tahu, suruh kamu buat mechanism tu sama ada dia suruh buat mechanism on the hydrolysis of haloalkene ataupun alcoholysis of haloalkene. Kalau hydrolysis of haloalkene, SN1 macam previously, kita nak form alcohol daripada weak nucleophile. Kalau alcoholysis of haloalkene, kita nak form ether daripada weak nucleophile. Kalau weak nucleophile untuk form ether daripada haloalkene, kita akan gunakan alcohol. Okay, so since that this is a secondary haloalkene, dia akan ada tendency yang sangat kuat untuk buat rearrangement. Okay. Dia akan ada tendensi untuk buat rearrangement. Kenapa ya? Secondary haloalkene akan tendensi untuk buat rearrangement. Because we want to form a stable carbocation. As usual, we know that tertiary carbocation is much more stable than secondary carbocation and much more stable daripada primary carbocation. Okay, so what happened here is the first step sama je, kita akan buat formation of carbocation. Since that kita nak form juga stable carbocation, therefore kalau let's say kamu perlu untuk buat rearrangement, you kena buat rearrangement dekat step yang pertama. Okay, and then kalau rearrangement ni, kalau khas untuk secondary haloalkene lah. Okay, rearrangement, since that kalau dia ada peluang yang cerah untuk jadi tertiary carbocation, that's why lah dia kena buat rearrangement. Rearrangement pula ingat tak ada berapa jenis? Ada dua, sama ada buat 1,2 hydride shift or 1,2 methyl shift. Okay, so what happen is kamu salin je your secondary haloalkane, lepas tu you break the bond between carbon dan juga halogen. Okay, you kena fokus on this carbon dengan halogen because in step 1 you akan break the bond between this carbon and halogen. Okay, supaya kamu akan dapat carbocation, and it's a slow process since that this carbon dia break the bond dengan this halogen, this carbon akan dapat positive charge, Br akan dapat negative charge. Okay, so what is the class for this carbocation, guys? This carbocation dia bond only to 2 carbon atoms. Therefore, this is a secondary carbocation. Okay, dia ada peluang tak untuk jadi tertiary carbocation? Ada. Kalau let's say this plus sign berpindah dekat carbon sebelah, dia ada peluang tu nak jadi tertiary carbocation. Kan? Kalau let's say sebab rearrangement ni, you boleh buat dengan jiran sebelah saja. You tengok jiran belah kanan dia ada peluang cerah tak nak jadi tertiary? Ada. Ada peluang cerah nak jadi tertiary karbohidrat ion. You tengok karbon belah kiri ada peluang tak untuk jadi stable carbohydrate ion? Tak ada, because this is only a methyl je, so memang tak stable lah. So what happen here is dia akan buat 1 to methyl shift ke hydride shift? 1 to hydride shift. Okay, janganlah buat 1 to methyl shift. Kalau tak ada beza lah. Dia akan jadi secondary juga. So, buatlah 1 to hydride shift. Apa yang berlaku kat sini, you kena show this arrow to show that dia bertukar tempat. Okay, hydrogen ni akan tukar tempat dengan plus sign. So, you buat 1 to hydride shift. Mention that you buat 1 to hydride shift. And then, what happen here, ni kan dia effective on this 2 carbons je kan yang akan affected. So this carbon akan terima, okay, this carbon akan terima plus sign, while this carbon akan terima hydrogen. Okay, because dia buat 1 to hydride shift. So dia just ubah kedudukan hydrogen dengan plus sign. Okay, so sekarang ni this carbon yang ada plus sign ni jadilah dia tertiary carbohydrate ion. So tertiary carbohydrate ion kan more stable. Okay, so what happened to Br? Br minus ni you salin balik lah sebab dia tak ada apa-apa kesan pun. Okay, alright. So the step 2 is nucleophilic attack. Okay, kalau untuk ammonia ataupun alkohol ni, alkohol kan, the nucleophile will be used for deprotonation. Okay, macam mana tu? Okay, sekarang ni kita tengok balik. Okay, this is your carbohydrate ion yang you form, yang stable tu kan, tertiary carbohydrate ion tu. Dia akan buat nucleophilic attack dengan this weak nucleophile, CH3OH. So as usual, oksigen ni kena keluarkan dia punya lone pair. Kalau let's say dalam soalan tak ada keluar lone pair, you keluarkan lone pair of this oxygen atom. Lepas tu you akan buat fast reaction where this lone pair of this oxygen atom akan attack this carbohydrate ion. So bila dia attack this carbohydrate ion, this carbon dia terima elektron, makanya tiada lagi lah dia punya plus sign. Okay. Lepas tu tapi dia akan membuat bond yang baru. This is bond yang baru. Bond yang baru terhasil because this lone pair of this oxygen attack this carbohydrate ion. Lepas tu, since that this oxygen dia menderma lone pair of dia punya electrons pada this carbohydrate ion, carbon ni terima elektron tu adalah lagi positive charge, dia jadi neutral. So oxygen ni macam mana pula? Oxygen ni dia jadilah oxygen plus, because why? Because dia terima elektron kan, dapatlah dia plus charge kat situ. Okay, kan dia ada H dengan CH3 kan, H CH3, tapi if you look here, mana ada H kat sini? Dia ada CH3 saja sebab dia nak form ether kan. So this H needs to be apa? Dia kena deprotonate. So macam mana nak deprotonate? You akan guna nucleophile, this Br minus, strong nucleophile. Nucleophile yang dimaksudkan kat sini bukan nucleophile weak tau, kena guna strong nucleophile. Kat sini dia akan gunakan strong nucleophile. Okay, only in alcoholysis of haloalkane je, because dia guna alcohol kan. So this is the strong nucleophile Br minus. So Br minus ni yang kita akan gunakan untuk deprotonation. Previously kita guna balik H2O kan. Yang ni dia akan gunakan Br minus. So what happen, this Br minus, dia akan attack this hydrogen because dia nak buang, nak buat deprotonation. Deprotonation kan maksudnya dia nak buang proton. Okay, so dia akan buang this hydrogen. Lepas tu hydrogen ni dia akan break bond dengan this oxygen. Therefore, you akan dapat this major product ether. Samalah. Okay, lepas tu dia punya side product dia, you will get less HBr. That's all. So make sure you tengok ni step first ni, since that this is a secondary haloalkane, so dia open for rearrangement. secondary haloalkane dia open for rearrangement. Okay, rearrangement pula ada dua jenis, 1,2 hydride shift dengan 1,2 methyl shift. We tengoklah what kind of shift yang dia kena buat supaya dia dapat jadi tertiary carbocation. So we look back dekat step first ni, Miss tak nak kamu tertinggal any arrow, so you check ada tak arrow between carbon dengan Br because dia nak break the bond. This arrow jangan lupa. This jangan lupa mention, it's a slow process. Lepas tu next, because you want to form a more stable carbocation, kita akan buat 1,2 hydride shift. Please do not forget to mention that you did a 1,2 hydride shift. And this arrow please jangan lupa. Okay, cuba check balik you salin betul ke tak. Okay, lepas tu don't forget now you already formed a tertiary carbocation with a strong nucleophile Br- here. Okay, ni dia dapat daripada this one lagi. Okay, so the second step is a nucleophilic attack. It's a fast process. Okay, first thing first, you akan gunakan you punya carbocation yang major tu, carbocation yang stable. Okay, this is a tertiary carbocation yang stable dengan weak nucleophile. Okay, weak nucleophile. Lepas tu, don't forget this arrow. Cuba check you salin betul ke tak, don't forget this arrow. And please do not forget to mention that this is a fast process. Lepas tu, do not forget this bond yang they create. Don't forget to erase the positive charge on the carbon atom because they're already neutral because they accept the electron. And please don't forget the positive sign. And then, jangan lupa bila dia nak diprotonate. Okay, bila dia nak diprotonate, kena use a strong nucleophile. This is a strong nucleophile. Okay, don't forget the arrow between that strong nucleophile. Bila dia nak diprotonate, dia akan ambil hydrogen atom, and hydrogen atom ni dia akan break dengan O+. Therefore, akan dapat ether over here and side product HBr. Okay.